Hanuman, he went to Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana in the disguise of a mendicant. Mendicant means a sadhu. And then he fell at Lord Rama and Lord Lakshmana's feet and he asked, "Oh, great, valiant soldiers, who can you be? I am Hanuman, the minister of King Sugriva. How may I help you?" And Lord Rama and Lakshmana, they laughed. "Oh, look at the arrangement of providence. We are looking for Sugriva, and here is Sugriva's minister welcoming us." So then Lord Rama and Lakshmana, they were very happy to receive Hanuman. And Lakshmana explained, narrated all the incidents from the time of Sita Devi's marriage to today, whatever at that day, whatever had happened, the explanation was given by Lord Lakshmana to Hanuman. So Hanuman felt that, oh, this is such a disheartening, such a painful thing that has happened. So he told Lord Rama that Sugriva is also suffering because his elder brother has captured and taken away his kingdom as well, and his wife is also caught in Kishkinda. Kishkinda is Vali's kingdom. So this is a similar situation for Sugriva also. So I am very sure that Sugriva will help you. Please let me carry you both on my shoulders and let's go and meet Sugriva. And when Lord Rama saw Sugriva, he embraced Sugriva, almost like accepting the friendship of Sugriva. Okay, they shook hands, and Lord Rama, you may think, how is it that Lord Rama accepted Sugriva's friendship just like that? He was meeting Sugriva for the first time. Don't you hear from your parents telling every now and then that you should not accept anybody's friendship without knowing them properly? But the thing is that already many great personalities like Kabandhu, who was actually a great personality, he was cursed to become, Shabari had told. So all of these very, very great personalities had told that Sugriva will help Lord Rama. So that is why on their recommendation, Lord Rama immediately accepted the friendship of Sugriva. So the lesson for you is that in case your elders recommend somebody for your friendship, becoming your friend, then it is okay. But on your own, you should always be very careful about accepting friendship of somebody. Okay, unknown person, especially online. Be very, very careful. You are the average of the 5 closest people you associate with. I already told you this, right? So just like say a nail, any iron piece, if you keep it long enough with a powerful magnet, after say a month or so, if you pick the nail or the iron piece and you touch it onto some other iron pieces, you will see that this nail or iron piece has developed magnetic properties that also can attract. How by association we can develop the qualities of others? This is just one example. So your consciousness is determined what kind of mindset you have, what thoughts you have. Are you a positive person? Are you a negative person? Are you a gentle person? Are you a rude person? All of these are determined by the association that you keep. Like I told you, there are 7 gates to hell through friendship. If we have a bad friend, there are 7 gates. The first one is one who misleads us. So one who keeps the friend in ignorance or leads the friend away from the right things to do, that person is not a good friend. So it is said in the Bible that the godly give good advice to their friends and the wicked lead them astray. Okay, so anybody who asks you to say, try out these things, say something like drugs or alcohol or tobacco, they are not good friends at all. The second one is one who gossips. That is also not a good friend. One who merely passes time and simply uses the friend to chat is also not a good friend. Okay, so like frogs, frogs get together, they croak like this. But then what happens when frogs croak? They attack the snake, hissing snake. So this is not a good friend. The third one is one who harms. Is not a good friend. One who's ignorant and a fool and indulges in harmful activities is not a good friend. One who will harm you in some way or the other. One who overshadows you. If a swan is staying with ducks so that the swan will look better in the company of ducks, that is also not a good friend. So here we see Eleanor Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt's wife. She says, the American president's wife, she said, former American president, she says, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That means without your permission, nobody can make you feel low. Okay, so unless you allow somebody to make you feel like that, nobody can actually make you feel low. The fifth quality is one who backbites. Somebody who speaks bad about you behind your back is also not a good friend. So one who backbites is not a good friend. In the Quran, it is said, don't backbite one another. Would one of you love to eat the flesh of his dead brother? This is a little strong, but that's what the Quran also is saying. All right. The sixth is one who bullies. If somebody bullies you, that's also not a good friend. So say no to all of these things. Say no to bullying. Say no to rumors, teasing, gossiping, mean words, name calling, hitting, kicking. No, don't allow anybody to drag you into these things. Okay, so it's not good at all. Absolutely. You push back. You may be like an ant in front of the bully, but then if you make your mind up, you can push back. All right. So the last one is one who betrays is also not a good friend. One who betrays the confidence, Srila Prabhupada says in one place, one who betrays the confidence of a living entity who takes shelter of him or her in good faith, whether that living entity be a human being or an animal, is extremely sinful. Okay, so just like Judas betrayed his own master, Jesus Christ, similarly, a person who betrays is also not a good friend. Okay, so these are the 7 qualities of a bad friend.